this is the image that I want to recreate from scratch. So I need to notice that it's not my design. It's design I need to replicate it in CG or in 3D. So this is the nature of work for an Arch Viz artist. So the Arch Viz artist take the design from the interior designer and make it on 3D. So this is the main topic for Arch Viz 3D artist. So to work on this type of image, so I need to simulate the perspective of this image. So in this tutorial, I will work with an add-on called Perspective Plotter. You can find it in Blender Market. It's a new add-on. If you are familiar with FSpy, you can work with it easily. So to start working, I need to add a camera. So go to Shift A, camera. So I forget to enable the screencast keys. So it's done. So as you see here, our camera, I need to clear rotation, Alt R, then rotate it in X axis in 90 degree, like this. Then to work with the perspective plotter, you see, if I'm not in the camera, you will not see the perspective plotter add-on. So you need to go first to camera and you will see this pop-up or this window. So first I need to select the camera, go to the camera properties, and in the background image, I need to add the image that I want, or I already loaded to Blender. So I will click in this 17 JPEG image. So like this, you see that the image is distorted. So because of that, we have this red color here. You will read that the background unmatched. So I need to click here to match the resolution of the image imported. So to start plot our perspective, I need to click here in this plot perspective and start put my axis. So I will start work on this first red axis. Here I will zoom in to precise the perspective. So put this here and zoom into precise. So the second one, I will put it here and this here. So if you see this red color in the add-on, it means that you are in the wrong way. So you need to set up your perspective in the right way, and this green axe in this way, and this here like this. So also this axe here and this axe here. So we have a good perspective. So to verify if I'm in the right way, I need to add an object, plane or cube or something else. So for me, I will add a plane. So Shift A, plane, and like this. Right. So if I move this here, you see that the line is in the right way. Also, if I move it here, you see that we have a right perspective. So now you can start modeling. First, I need to save the file to not lose this. So I could call it live stream. So save the blend file. So to start model, so I need to add a plane as I say already. So first I need to move this edge behind the camera like this and return to the to the camera and start modeling, moving this to this way and this edge to this way like this. So according to your reference. Now I need to select all or select this face like this and extrude it. So until you get this same level with this sailing. So now I need to create this space here and create this wall. So to create this space here, I need to add an edge loop. First, I need to create this wall, then add an edge loop here to create this space, then go to the face mode and extrude it to this position or any position you want. So return to the edge mode, select this edge loop with alt click and bevel it to give the wall a thickness. Now I need to add an edge loop here to create the wall and an edge loop here. So I have two faces like this, you see. So I need to bridge these two faces. So to do that, I need to use an add-on called Loop Tools. So if you don't have it in your Blender native, so you need to enable it in Edit Preferences add-on and search for Loop Tools and you will find it exactly. So click right mouse button and go to loop tool, then bridge. Then I need to delete these faces, those faces here, because I don't need it, and also they don't appear in the camera, so I don't need it in this scene. So everything that I want, it's what's in the camera. So the next step is to verify, or the next step is to model this area of the light. So to model it, I need to give it an edge loop here and another edge loop here, then extrude it easily like this and extrude it like this. So now I need to verify the face orientation. So as you see here in the red color, we have a wrong orientation of our face normals. So to fix this problem, you need to go to the edit mode, then select all with A, then click Ctrl Shift and to flip this normals. So if you don't have this option in the quick favorite, you can go to the overlays here and enable your face orientation. Also, if you want to add it to quick favorite, you can click on it with the right mouse button and you will have here add to quick favorite or something else. So I need to go to the front view. You see that the orientation of our scene is flipped, so I need to rotate it. So to do that, I need to select all. So to rotate the scene with the camera, and click R, then Y axis, then click R, then Y axis, then click 180 like this. Then I need to make it with the same level with the floor. Also here I need to move it to make it at the center, then return to my camera. Also don't forget to save every time, but if you work in Blender, you will have the autosave option, so don't be afraid for this option. So now I need to add the window. So to add this window, I need first to create this black area. So it's a material, or we call it the window tablet. So to create it, I need to add an edge loop. Then I need to add a window. So to add this, I need to select this and this, then click Shift S to move the cursor to this area. So now if I add something, for example, if I add a window, I will have the window here in this area. So I need to move it a little bit to the bottom. So to snap it with the floor, I need to enable this faces mode, snap mode, like this. As you see here, we have 3 panels with our tablet and the inside tablet, so I don't need those elements. So to disable it, I need to select the outer frame, then go to Archipack add-on. So in the components tab, click on it and disable out tablet and in tablet. Also for the panels, I need just one panel. Also I need to change in the width. So go to the top view, and in the wireframe mode, I need to change the width like this. So this I'm done. Also for the depth, I need to change it a little bit. Also for the height, it's the same thing. Go to front view and enable wireframe mode and increase the height until you get the right height. So I need to decrease it a little bit like this. So now I can start the texturing. So for the texturing, I will use textures from Ambient CG. You can search for the names of these textures in ambientcg.com. Thanks for Ambient CG to provide us with these textures. So first I need to split my view like this, as you see here, and change this viewport to shader editor. So in our image here, our reference image, you see that we have different bunch of materials. We have concrete material, floor material, and wall and ceiling material, also this black material, and in the background we have this wood material. So so if we have 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 material, also the light material, we call it as a material also. So to work on textures, need to return to the shader editor, go to the material preview and start assign my materials. So first material that I need is plaster. So it's the general material. So for the wall and the ceiling, and the floor I will use the same material. So the first material I will call it plaster, like this. And also I need to create say 5 materials. The second material is concrete, the third material is wood, and the fourth is window tablet, like this, and the fifth material is light. So now I need to start to assign the materials. The concrete, I will assign it for this wall, like this. Click Alt and click on this face to have the face loop. Then go here and assign. So if I change the color will changed. So now I need to assign the wood material. So I select this face, then select this face by clicking on Control to select the short way. So select and click assign. So if I change the material, also will be changed for this wall. So also for window tablet, I will assign this window tablet and change it to black. Also for the light, I will change this and select this and assign the light material for it. Also to give it an emission material in our principal BSDF, you can work with two methods. You can work with the principal BSDF, or you can work with the emission shader. So I prefer to work with emission with principal BSDF and give this emission a Kelvin color temperature. So I will use the black body node, black body node, black body, yes. And maybe I will give it color of 3500. So if you don't see any effect of this light, you are in EV, we need to click on bloom. You will see the light activated, or I need to go to cycles, GPU, and go to cycles to see the right lights here. So I need to return to material preview to work on the other materials. So for the plaster, I will use the node wrangler. So if you don't have it also, you can enable it. It's an add-on, comes with Blender natively. So it's a free, you can use it and enable it. So I will click on Control T and go to downloads, compressed, and plaster. So this is the name of the plaster that I use from Ambient CG. It's plaster 001 4K. So click on it, select one of them. It's normal DirectX and this normal OpenGL. So I will use this normal, roughness, color, displacement, and principal texture setup like this. You see that the texture is distorted, so it's a problem of UV unwrapping. So to unwrap any object in Arch Viz projects, just need to use cube projection or smart TV project. So go to the edit mode and select all, then click on cube projection. Also, I don't need to use displacement, so I will use it in and use this map in the map mode. So go to vector and use this map mode and use this displacement map in the height. Also this decrease in the distance 0.02. It's because I don't use displacement because displacement is a time consuming. Yeah, it's a time consuming. So also I need to decrease or increase in the scale. So I will use 5. 5 is good for me. So now I'm finished with plaster. So I need to go to the concrete, the same method, Control Shift T with clicking on principal BSDF, then select concrete where you stored your concrete. This concrete called concrete 007. You can find it in OpenGL. In Ambient CG. So you see here that the ambient occlusion, it's not plugged with the base color. So I need to mix between them with clicking on using a mix RGB node. So I will add this here and this here and change the blend mode to multiply because it's black and white map. So delete this displacement and use a map node as usual like this and change the distance to 0.02. I think 0.02 it's a little, so I need to increase it, maybe 0.1. Go to the camera. Also I need to decrease or increase the scale, maybe 8 no, it's too much. So 5 it's good. So 5 it's good. So now I can save my file. Moving to the next material. So the next material is you would go to the principal BSDF, Control Shift T, go where you are storing your wood material, wood plank, and texture like this. I don't need to use the displacement, use the bump, height 0.1. Also, I need to change the rotation. I don't need this wood in this sense. Also, increase the scale to 10. Also here for the window. For the window, I need to change this inside these nodes. Just change in the color the principal BSDF to black, principal BSDF to black, and the outside also use nodes, principal BSDF to black. Also the glass. In the glass, I will use a special node. So the glass of Blender, it's not good, so I need to use a special node. So I learned it from Blender Guru, so you can find it in my projects already done. So also you can learn it from Blender artists. So to add this, I will combine between glossy, because the glass, it's a glossy in his nature, and also the transparent, because the glass is transparent. So mix between these two shaders, then preview this material and decrease the roughness, because my glass here it's not rough, so I will use 0 rough. Then use a factor here called Fresnel. Yeah, Fresnel, and increase the IOR to 14. So now I need to add another factor. So mix this result with transparent BSDF. So because also our glass is transparent, then use another factor called light path in shadow ray. So I don't need to use just shadow ray. I need to use the shadow ray and diffuse and the glossy. So to use that, I need to combine them with a converter. So use math and let the math to add, and combine shadow ray with the diffuse ray. Also combine this result with the glossy ray like this. So if you don't see any result because we are in Eevee or in the engine, so you need to do some settings before settings and go to settings. Where is it? Settings. We are in cycles. So if you don't have any results, you need to change the settings in Eevee. So blend mode to alpha blend and opaque to none. So you will see your glass. So because I'm in cycles, it's a PBR in the engine, so I don't need to do this settings. So in my reference, I have this object here. I need to create it. So I will move my cursor here by clicking on Shift, then right mouse button. So it's a shortcut. I love using shortcuts in Blender, so because it's very easy and very easy to remember. So go here like this. I'm done. So I need to give it a bevel to make it real. So give it 3 segments, 0.07, and scale, and give it a material, then make it black. It's not a detailed element, so I don't need to size on it a lot. So for our object, I need to give it a bevel modifier because there is anything sharp in the real world, so I need to give it a bevel like this, decrease in the amount, and make it 3 segments. Let's happen with 0.01, 0.01, or maybe 2. I need to apply the scale. So like this, I need to give it shade smooth, then hard and normal, then enable auto smooth. You don't have these options. For the auto smooth, you can go to mesh or object data properties. In normals, you can enable auto smooth, and you can add it to your quick favorites. So like this. I'm done with the texturing, so I need to go to the furnishing process. So in the furnishing process, I will use my furnitures from Beninis 3D library. You can download it from the link in the description down below. So first, I will append these furnitures. So I will go to Beninis 3D furnitures. So the first one is armchair. You will see that you already see in the render. So I will use this Marta armchair. and load this collection. So like this, I need to rescale it a little bit. So rotate it in this sense, then rescale it like this and make it in this position. Okay. So the first, I don't have this lamp, so I need to use another stuff. So I have a lamp in my library. So lamp Astria by image collection, then Astria by image. So I need to move it here. Go to the top view, see if I'm in the right way here. Need to move it here in this place. So I need to like this. I think I'm in the wrong I'm in the right sense, so I don't need it big. So if I need it big, I need to rescale it and modify a little bit on it. So I need to move it or drop it down here. So drop this down like this, and we have our lamp. Now it rests the art here. So also I have a picture furniture, so I will return picture and collection picture. So make it here and rotate it in 90 degree. I need to change this to 3D viewport to work. So I don't need the second image. I need just this image here. So I need to go to the side view. I need to rotate it a little bit like this to have it perpendicular to the floor. Then I need to move it here and rescale it until I get the right position, the right scale. So I need it to be big and maybe not in the middle like this. Now I think I'm done with furnishing. Now it's the important part, which is the lighting. So I need to change my shader editor to my viewport to shader editor, then object to word. Now I need to click here and go to Cycles Render Engine. So you see that our scene is black, so we need to give it a light. So in lighting, you can light with different types of lighting. So I can stick with this background and make it as my main lighting source. So just adjusting in the color. So I need to use the black body node to stimulate the mood, the real world mood. So for me, I think 6500 Kelvin color temperature is good. Also, I need to have some shadows in my scene. So to stimulate this, I need to add a sun. So this is the first method. So add a sun like this and move it here and start rotate it. So to see my sun rotation, I need to split my view, go to 3D viewport. No, like this. As you see in the render image, you see that I have the sun in this sense. I need the sun split my view. I see it in technical photography, and it gave us a good or a cool mood. So I need to rotate it a little bit here. Rotate it first like this and move it in this place. So I will move it until I have this split view with the sunlight. So like this, and move it, rotate it like this. So I need my sun to focus 20% of my scene on this area where I have this chair, armchair, and this picture. So I work with 20/80 rule. So like this, I have a good lighting. So you see that the shadows, it's very hard and I need to make it soft. So I need to make this sun really soft. So I need to give it 10 degree of angle. So this is the first method of lighting. So it's not time consuming. If you have a low PC, you can use combination between background and the sun. So another option to do in the lighting, it's to change the look to medium high contrast or high contrast to have a better look when you are working on lighting. Also, if you don't have this, if you don't like this exposure of lighting, you can play around with the exposure value. I always do that. I'm not I don't increase in the strength of the sun or the background. I always work with this exposure value. Also work with this false color. If I have this red color in the image, I will know that my scene is very or over highlighted, so I don't increase in it. So I will return to filmic, and now I need to go to the second method, which is sky texture. So sky texture, so it's very bright, so I need to decrease in the sun intensity. Oh, I think it's very bright. Also in the sun it's very bright, like this. You can play around in the sun rotation as the same thing, like this, and play around the sun elevation. So the problem with sky texture, you will not have the possibility to control the mode. So if you have a low sun elevation, you will have sunset or sunrise. So I always use background with the sun and HDRI. So also you can decrease this error option to 0 to have this mode. So there is a bunch of types of lighting, so you need just to be creative. You know, lighting is a creative process, so it's not a technical. Yeah, it has a percentage of technical side, but lighting, it's an art. So try to focus on art, not on settings. So I always say that in my tutorials. So I can stick on this lighting. Just I want to show you the third method, which is HDRI. So I can make this here, split it with Alt, then click Ctrl T and click open, and open your HDRI. So go to my resources. I use the HDR from HDR Heaven called Lilienstein, like this, 4K Lilienstein. So I need to increase the strength. Also, I need to rotate this HDRI until I get the sun inside my scene. So rotate and rotate and rotate like this. You see that the scene, it's very very noisy, so I need to enable the denoise option to have real-time cycles render engine like this. Also, I need to move it up to here. So play around in the Z location. Try to click on shift when you are moving the sun in the Z axis. So like this, I have a good light. If you don't like these black areas, you can go to color management and try to increase your exposure, but don't overdo it. So if you like this lighting, you can tell me in the comments. For me, it's good, so I can increase the exposure. So go to false color, so I don't have over highlighted areas. Just one thing I need to do after rendering, it's to decrease the intensity of the sun. So to do that, I need a gamma node like this and decrease it a little bit to 0.9. So you will have this intensity of the sun like this. And I think it's very good for me. I can render it and go to post-processing. So for the resolution, I need to increase it because I think it's very low. So I will multiply this by 2 and this second by 2. And for the render settings, I will not use much of samples. So just 1024 samples. Also for the light path, I will use the full global illumination preset. Also direct light 10. Performance, I need to use persistent data. If I need to re-render my image and at the same time not building the BVH and other stuff, so I need to use the persistent data for better render, for better time consuming, for better for not consume a lot of time when you start a new render. So save your image. After going to the post-production or render, you need to enable some passes. So denoising data, for me, I think I don't need to enable glossy and glossy direct, indirect. I need just ambient occlusion. So Now I can click render and waiting for the render to finish. See that I love the details in the plaster material. See, if I have a backdrop image texture, I will have this effect. Yeah, maybe I will search for one. So I will go to ambient, or until the render finish, I will search for one. So CC0 texture. Maybe he has a backdrop. Yeah, he has a backdrop. Yeah, I will use one of them. So this, maybe 4K, it's good because it's not appeared in the camera. Extract it. Now I need to recreate it. So add the cylinder like this. Remove this face, and I need to remove this face. Also, I don't need all these cylinders, so I need to delete the half, delete vertices, man. I'm not in the X-ray mode. Delete vertices, nice, like this. So I need to apply the scale, give it a UV unwrapping, then go to the objects and load the base color. So image texture, downloads, compressed backdrop, load this image. Also, I need to duplicate this and load the opacity map. We have the backdrop opacity map, so use the same UV unwrapping, use the same mapping, put it in the alpha. So now I need to UV unwrap it. So to do that, I need to go to UV editor. So I need to flip this like this, or rotate it in the 90 degree like this. I need to see my, like this. Why it's not working? So I need to go to, so I think the sun, it's entered my scene. You see that the shadows of the trees here, just I want to decrease a little bit. I need to decrease this, decrease it. Maybe I need to move, maybe like this, maybe not. Maybe I need to move it a little bit here. Maybe for the bird, I need to change this option to 1. Yeah, I have this shadows. Yeah, it's good. I think this effect is good. Maybe I need to change the backdrop. Maybe the backdrop. But I think I have some shadows of the trees here. I don't need a lot of them. Like this, I have this effect. Just I need to increase a little bit. So I think like this, I have this effect. So I can render it now. So like this, I think it's good. Just increase some exposure. So I will increase the exposure in the post-production. So I will click render F12 and waiting for the render to finish. Yeah. You see that when we add the backdrop texture, we don't have an increase in the render time. So you see that the last time when we rendered our image without the backdrop, it's 3 minutes. And in this case, I think it's the same thing. So backdrop is for getting so much reduce in the render time. So I will use nodes for the compositing. So I need to close this viewports, enable the viewer with click Control Shift and click on the render layers, and you will have this viewer node. Control G, you will have a frame. I need to first I need to combine the image with AO. So change this to multiply, decrease it to 0.1. Also, I need to increase a little bit in the exposure. The image, maybe 0.4. Good. Click V to zoom out. Also add some effects. The effects that I love, it's filter, glare, and lens distortion. So for the filter, I will use sharpen mode to have some details. So decrease it to 0.1 to have some details. So like this, I have a good details with this effect. Also, I don't love this streak glare. So I always love fog glow. In some situation, I love streaks. So increase this to high and the size to 6. Also for the lens distortion, it's an effect to simulate the distortion of the real world camera. So we need to do this in our renders. Also make this 001. It's 3 plan it's a tree plan composition. I can make this wood background as a blurry plan. So also in this area I can use some of plants from Choco4 or anything else to make it as the first plan. So I will try this area after finishing with the compositing. So just wait a minute. So change this to offset power slope, and maybe I give it some bluish color like this, increasing in the exposure. Also I can give it some contrast 0.6, also give it some desaturation like this to give it some vibrance. I think the post-production is good now. I will make the suggestions of my friends. So tree plan composition. So this is the first plan, this is the third plan, this is the second and the main plan, and this is the first plan. Sorry, I don't have plants on my Banana Studio library. I will use Choco4 models. So details, flowers, maybe this, it's good. Change the Choco4 model import location to cursor. Oh, for the camera, I will use depth of field. I will focus on this plane. No, Marta Armchair. Choco4's Lex Kolovsky give it to me for free. Thanks for him. Thanks, big shout out for Choco4, because he has freebies. It's a good quality. You can use it on your project. Also, you can use my Banana 3D models. You can find the link in description. It's for free and CC0. I think is this the last render, so I will hit render now. So just testing the depth of field, because I think a coffee table. I have a small table on my furniture. I will search for it. Maybe I think it's a great idea. Collection tables. Small furniture. MB Italia. Small table. Yeah, I have this table, or maybe this. I will try this. I think this is worst. Need to change this to this. Change this to this. Also, I will add a book here from Choco4. Details. Books. I think this is good. Give it a try. It will not appear. I need to re-render it for the last time. Ah, yes. I think like this it's good. I need to render it again to see the result. So I need to re-render this. First of all, I need to save. Not I write. So hit render. Hitting render. I can give you the file for free. So you will find the link in the description. But for the models from Choco4, I will delete it because it's license restricted. I can increase the exposure to 1. Also, I need to add a grain effect. To add this, I need to use the noisy image, because all the real photography have grain effects from the lenses. So I need to add this effect. So mix the image with the noisy image. So like this, and decrease it to 0.3 maybe. And I think it's good like this. It's a grainy image with a real world effect. You can find the link of the description, the link of this file in the description. After upload it, I will put the link in the description. Also, if you like this stream, please tell me in the comments. You can continue in this series live streaming. Also, I hope you like it. See you in the next stream. Have a nice day. Assalamu alaikum.